Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm the Tilted Crown Gourmet. As you may notice, we are in a new location. This is my new apartment in Thailand. And today I'm going to be bringing you a lemon vinaigrette with dill. One of the things I want to show you in this video is you do not need a large kitchen, because quite frankly I do not have a large kitchen in this new apartment, in order to produce wonderful meals. So if you're ready, let's get some prep done, let's roll up those sleeves, and let's get cooking. We're going to be starting our vinaigrette. We're going to start by grating our garlic. The reason we want to grate our garlic is because we do not want large chunks of garlic in our vinaigrette. We want it to be nice and creamy. Now we will be putting in some dill later, but we do want to grate our garlic. Now that we've grated our garlic, we're going to go ahead and add that into our container. Now you can either use a mason jar or a dressing jar. If you don't have either one of those, feel free to put this into a bowl and prepare your whisk, because you're going to be whisking it. Just remember that you're going to need to have a bowl large enough to incorporate all your ingredients without you making a mess. Alright, to our garlic, we're going to be adding our freshly squeezed lemon juice. Now, it's super important to use freshly squeezed juice. I know that some people are so tempted to use that stuff in a bottle. Do not use it. You do not use it. The reason you don't want to utilize bottled lemon juice, it just doesn't taste right. It does not taste like natural squeezed lemon juice. To our lemon juice, we are going to add some Dijon mustard. Just a little bit. And after that, we are going to add a little bit of honey. Let that go down. Going to add our honey. Then we're going to add our our extra virgin olive oil. And I have some fleur de sel, which is an amazing sea salt. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pinch of fleur de sel. Now, if you don't have fleur de sel, that's fine. Any sea salt will work. And then last but not least, we're going to add some freshly ground black pepper. Remember, when you're adding salt and pepper, the important part is that's to taste, because what I believe is the appropriate ratio is not necessarily what you believe is the appropriate ratio. Now, one other thing, now that we've put in our olive oil and our lemon juice and all of our other ingredients, and we're going to shake it, understand, if this is too zesty, then you're going to add a little bit of olive oil. If it's not zesty enough, just add a little bit more lemon juice. One of the things you may ask, well, you said that this was a lemon vinaigrette with dill. Where's the dill? Well, the reason I didn't put the dill in yet is because I didn't want to bruise my dill by vigorously shaking it for a long time that I needed to do to emulsify my vinaigrette. Therefore, once I taste this, for the balance, I'll be adding in my dill. It needs a little bit more salt, but beyond that, this is the bee's knees. That's perfection. With dill, you don't necessarily need to pull the fronds off. I do, simply because I just want to have the fronds in my vinaigrette, but you do not have to pull the stems off because they're super tender. Just make sure that you dice them up really finely. We're going to go ahead and dice up our dill. Now, when you're dealing with fresh herbs or herbs in general, you have to decide how much you want to use. I really like the taste of dill, so I put in a little bit more. But if you don't want to use dill, you might want to think about using thyme. Thyme is also a wonderful accompaniment to this vinaigrette. Let's go ahead and add in our dill. And if you notice, I did not scrape the blade of my knife onto my cutting board. I slid it underneath because I don't want to dull my knife. It's super important that if you're going to use your knife to pick up things, either you're going to slide under or you're going to use the back if you're going to be scraping it up. Do not use the blade. Now that our dill is in there, we're going to once again seal our jar. And we're just going to give it a nice, easy toss because we don't want to bruise our dill. Our next step is super simple. We're going to put this in the refrigerator for a few minutes while we prepare the rest of our salad. The one thing about having a small kitchen that you need to know, as you cook, you want to clean because obviously you don't have a lot of space. So you want to go ahead and cook, or you want to start preparing, and you want to clean as you go because that is really going to help make your life so much easier. Now we're going to start our salad. The wonderful part about salad, you can put whatever you want to in your salad. Leo and I, my video editor, he's over here to experience this new kitchen experience with me. We decided that we're going to have lettuce, tomatoes, onion, cucumber, and a little bit of feta cheese. So let's start. We're going to start by peeling our cucumber. Now understand, like I said, I don't have a big kitchen. This is it. This is the kitchen. So I put me a trash bag right here on my handles and I peel my cucumber directly into it because then when I'm done, any type of veggie waste, etc., we have actually in this building a special bin for wet waste. So I'll just wrap this up and it will go into the wet bin area, and we're going to be good to go. Now that our cucumber is cut, is peeled, I'm going to cut off the ends, discard, cut off the other end, discard. Then I'm going to cut it in half. Now this is purely optional, but I don't like having the seeds in my salad simply because to me it kind of makes the salad a bit watery. Therefore, I scoop them out. If you don't want to scoop them out, don't scoop them out. Remember, this is cooking. It is not rocket science. Now, if this was baking, you need to follow exactly. But with cooking, you can have what's called license. You can have license, cooking license. So just go ahead and, as they say, let your freak flag fly. And don't worry if you don't get them all out, it's okay. But the whole point is it will definitely cut down that wateriness that cucumbers have a tendency to introduce into dishes. Now that we've done that, I'm just going to go ahead and slice that down the center again. Get the other one, slice it down the center, and then we are just going to chop it into pieces that I like. Now, if you want bigger pieces, guess what? Cut it bigger. It's all good. And voila, our cucumber is ready. Now that our cucumbers are cut up, we're gonna add those to our bowl. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and thinly slice an onion. Now, my preference would be if I had red onion, but guess what? I don't have red onion. Therefore, you use what you have. And I'm gonna cut up some of this onion, and then we are gonna add that to our salad. And you put as much or as little onion. If you don't like onion, guess what? Don't put onion. And that goes right in there. And then what I do is I go in and I break it all up. And this piece is a little bit large, so guess what? I'm just gonna discard that. Break that all up. And of course, we're not gonna throw that onion away. Into our little Tupperware it goes, and back into the refrigerator it's gonna go when I'm done. Next step is gonna be our tomato. With your tomato, I core mine. Well, I take the top part out. And again, you make it, oops, dropped it on the floor. Not the tomato, dropped this on the floor. So it goes right into my bag, and I'm gonna cut that in half, and then I'm gonna cut it in half again, and then I'm gonna cut these pieces lengthwise, and then I'm gonna do 1, 2. And then we're just gonna scoop that up and into our bowl. Again, we're gonna slice that in half. Gonna go here, and then 1 and 2, and into our bowl that goes. Last but not least, we have our lettuce. With the lettuce, this is butter lettuce. You have to decide how you want to do your lettuce. Some people just pick it off and throw it in, and that's perfectly fine. Oftentimes people don't like cutting lettuce because they feel that it makes it turn brown. But because we're going to be eating this so quickly afterwards, I'm not worried about the oxidation resulting from the cutting of the lettuce. Therefore, I'm going to get it and I'm going to cut it into nice thin strips, because I want it to be easy to eat. And then we have this piece. Into my bag it goes, and all of this goodness goes right there into our bowl. Next, we're gonna do our feta cheese. We're gonna cut us a piece off, put it on our board. Now this is gonna be resealed. We're gonna put it here and just crumble it. Get it and just crumble it right into your bowl. There's no need to cut it, just crumble it. And let's go ahead and give these ingredients a nice toss. And the reason I want to do this, again, I want to break everything up. Because remember, we never did break up the lettuce. So I want to get this and toss it and break up the lettuce and incorporate that feta cheese and make sure that we have a nice distribution of all of our ingredients, our tomatoes, our cucumber, our onion, lettuce, and feta. Now that that is done, we're going to go and we're going to get our, not only are we getting our vinaigrette, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over here in the sink. Be careful with your knife because you don't want to dull the blade. Have our dressing, and we're pulling out our chilled bowls, our chilled salad bowls. Now that we've got our chilled bowls out, we're gonna give our dressing a easy, gentle swirl. You notice I'm not shaking, I'm giving it a swirl. It already is emulsified. And when you do that, you have to decide how much vinaigrette you put. I'm gonna put probably about half of it on my salad. I like my salad with a lot of dressing on it, and then we're gonna give it a toss. For me, what's important is to go into this little drawer, pull out a salad fork, and give it a taste, because maybe there's not enough dressing on this. Let's try it. This is very good. Fantastic. I'm gonna put just a smidge more dressing though. I told you I like my dressing on my vinaigrettes. So we're just gonna put just a little bit more. Close that up, give it another toss. And then now we're gonna divide this salad into our two bowls. Now let's get our salad and add it to our nice chilled bowls. You see, I'm trying not to make a mess here because I want this to look nice and I don't want to have to come back and clean my bowl if at all possible. But hey, stuff happens, and if I have to come back and do a little bit of cleanup on aisle 4, then so be it. And this one is ready. Remember, small kitchen, therefore it now goes over to the table.
Remember, your kitchen is your passport to the world, allowing you to explore diverse cultures and cuisines right from home as you explore new flavors and techniques. And as always, bon appetit.